just sharing some old radio war stories, and I was telling these guys that my former mentor, taught me everything I know in this business. Once worked in New York. He worked with a guy named Scott Shannon in New York, and he was called Smegma by Howard Stern. And I said, that is the greatest.
Low.
But I thought it was.
Yeah, but it's kind of a cool badge.
Yeah.
You know, if Stern mentions you, sort of.
So, that's right.
Even like that.
He said Scott Shannon doing this crap over on whatever Z100, and his little pal there, Smegma. And they had to look it up. Smegma is an oily paste that forms beneath the foreskin of uncircumcised men.
You have to tell me.
Dave knew what it was.
Yeah.
I know what Smegma is.
Is that why you got cut, Dave?
Yeah, when I was 21.
Dave got cut at 21. Too tired of dealing with Smegma.
That's right. Cleaned it with absolute vodka.
That's how I got hooked.
His first taste.
That was the beginning.
More than anything, led to his drinking problem.
I just put a little behind each ear.
Right, exactly.
One for you and one for me.
And we were in here chatting about Smegma, as most morning shows are today. And Biggie dropped a bomb that he is going to Charlotte this weekend, and he's checking into a hotel alone for one night only, and he's getting two things: a chicken parm and a hooker. He just said it. He said as much.
I didn't.
He said as much. And he says Chris Dim always thinks that when you check in alone like that for just one night, they assume you're going to kill yourself in the room.
Right, either that or you're going to send up, 5 hookers and they'll find you rolled
That's right.
the next morning or dead of an overdose.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's just for checking in one night. I'm not going to have a big suitcase.
No bags.
No bags at all.
I might have a backpack.
Just this drop cloth.
That's
You guys sell toothbrushes here?
That's what it'll be, too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They're complimentary, sir.
In our canteen.
Oh, I can tell you, I'm going to have another pair of contacts, a toothbrush, and deodorant.
That's all he's having.
And a flannel for his face.
Total mystery as to why he's going. He's just going to live, damn it. And he loves that chicken parm from that one restaurant, and it's near Charlotte. And he's getting it, and he's taking the maybe not a hooker, but he's definitely doing the chicken parm.
Yeah, they'll be watching you. Did you see any zip ties when he checked in?
See, this is how Chris Dim gets in your head.
I know.
He says something one time, and then later I'm checking into a hotel alone, and I'm like, this is odd.
Yeah. And then you're acting strange.
Yeah, and then I'm acting weird. I'm like saying things like, well, I'm not going to go there and just kill myself. Oh, my God, that fat guy's going to kill himself.
I could do it right here.
Are you staying?
Then they'd be sorry.
Right.
I'll show him.
That's exactly
And
right.
Kelly would know.
Are you staying discount, or are you going to stay in a nice downtown,
Very, very
uptown?
nice.
Sorry.
Oh, no. I'm technically staying in Monroe.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm
Now
going
you've said
back
it.
I'm checking on a family member, and then I'm going to check my grandparents' grave.
Mm-hmm.
We recently buried my grandmother, and check all that. And you're right, the chicken parm is in play.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
Will you bring anything to the gravesite?
Chicken parm. He's already said.
You make a day of
He's
it.
had it.
Man, would have wanted that.
Exactly. I think. I mean, that's how, exactly. So yeah, I think
my family has flowers pretty much put out there all the time, so I don't think I really need to bring anything.
Do you know the cemetery where my parents are buried and my grandparents? They had a report on the news recently that it was in disrepair.
Yeah, it's disturbing when you see that because I saw the story, I think, before you did. Kelly, and I thought, I know Kelly must have friends or relatives in that cemetery.
Both.
And turns out I was right.
Oh, yeah. It's a big cemetery. And it's where my parents and my grandparents are buried. And so I saw that on the news and was shocked by it.
Yeah, they had family members who were like, these graves are in utter disrepair.
So I called them. And
if you're calling about the news report, press 1.
If you're currently stuck up to your knee in a muddy grave, hang up and call 911.
That's right.
Because some people were sinking up to their ankles.
Yes, and they showed
and
something
their
like
shins.
Like you could see almost the tomb, and the plywood was over top of it. It's terrible.
Not good. Did you use your radio voice?
I did. I thought I had to. I felt like I had to.
Didn't you pay for perpetual care?
I did pay for perpetual care, and
I
I said to them, I said, listen,
I'm from the Smegma show. I don't know.
I'm Don Smegma.
I'm unbelievably disturbed by a report you got. I've just seen down there. A news affiliate.
I'd like some answers.
And they said, "Oh yeah, the news blew that out of proportion. We are taking steps. There's only a few graves,
But we're sinking with every step.
Well, you could kind of tell he was getting further from the
So it
side.
was a wet winter?
Yeah.
What he
said.
But you deal in ground.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I thought that was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, we're taking precautions. We are fixing everything. And then he said, I'll go out to the area where your family is and make sure. And he said everything there was just fine. It was just a small area.
That's some relief.
That's good.
It was.
Is that your resting place, your final resting place?
You know, I haven't chosen it. I guess it could be. That's not where my wife's people are. So,
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's where things get dicey sometimes.
Yeah.
I've always said I want to be cremated and
Be put somewhere.
spread over what makes me happiest, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that
I don't think that parking lot will let you do that.
over the chicken pickle.
Yeah, under the shade tree.
I want to be spread under the shade tree where I ate most of my meals.
That's the happiest part of my day.
We'll anoint you with some pickle juice.
They won't
Listen to talk radio.
do that. Yeah, that's
Eating chicken.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Or
how
when raise your glass of diet lemonade.
how he would have wanted it. No, but then my sister.
Spell out, it's my pleasure in your ashes. Until the wind carries it away.
Land in somebody's cone, you know.
That's right.
So
Over at the Dollar General.
Sprinkles.
my sister got word of this. I wasn't going to even. I'd already called, and she said, "Look at
She lives in a different town.
Yeah, she lives 3 hours away.
She was peeved.
Oh yeah, she's like, look what's going on down there. And so I called her and I said, I've already had words.
I played the celebrity card. Don't you worry.
I've already
I know
said,
you don't, but I carry some weight in this
I'm
town.
a local celebrity, and I had some words. And she said, well, you need to drive down there. And I said, do we really think it's
And that's the difference between you and I.
I said, so you're driving over to check the grave.
I'm driving over to check it,
Yeah.
yes.
And she goes, well, you need to get down there and see for yourself. You can't
I called him.
I said, I called them. She said, you can't take their word for it. Look what they've done. Look at what this looks like. And I said, oh, and I told her, I said, well, let me tell you, next time I'm passing through there, I'm going to definitely.
Time.
It's going to be
Memorial Day trip to the beach.
It's gonna be a minute.
I bet there's no worse feeling than when you're
a minute.
I bet there's no worse feeling when you're a business or something like this, and you're going through this and you see the news van pull up.
Oh, crap.
Christ.
Well,
Somebody go intercept them.
whoa, guys.
This is a business, private property?
Yeah.
And you know it always goes, something goes wrong right in that moment too. Sir, the backhoe's stuck. Oh, God. We'll take them over to the east side.
Show them the good grades.
Yeah.
Show them what we've got that's right
Yeah.
about the cemetery. Jeez.
Kelly, you need to get your final plans taken care
Well,
of.
I think you're right. My wife and
So
I
your
need
kids don't have to worry about that kind of
maybe
thing.
she and I'll sit down and have a good conversation. People now have, I heard about these a few years ago, where you have death parties.
A what?
A death party, like a dinner party, where you invite your family and everybody's going to be in the will and stuff, and you tell them while you're still, your kids are grown, but you're in sound mind and body. So this is what I want. It's in my will. Here's what everybody's getting, and this is how we're doing it.
I don't like that.
And you have a big dinner.
You tell them what they're getting?
I don't know if you tell them that. Maybe you tell them whatever you want, but you tell them, I don't want any, pull the plug if we have to, and, all of those kinds of things. And here's where we're going to be buried. Here's where the important papers are and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it is. I mean, it's all well and good. You really should write that stuff down.
Well, it'll be written down. Well, you're right. You're right. And you can say, I've written all of this in this notebook, and here's where we keep it. You can do it
Because you
way.
never know.
Yeah, until you write it down, it's just words.
Well, that's right. And you
Believe
never
me.
know. It has to be written, of course. I mean, we all have unfortunately gone through that.
Yeah.
So you write it down, then you bring them over, and you tell them all that
That
stuff.
way you'll be better.
My son.
Chicken parm.
Everybody. Now, my son.
I'm going to bring y'all back a chicken
Well,
parm.
I'd
Oh,
appreciate
good.
it. That'd be the second time you're trying to drag me down again. I see you trying to $1,000 $1,000 weight loss
Because Biggie
challenge.
brought me back a chicken parm.
Now I'm eating cheese every day. My son once we were talking about, we had unfortunately had to, my mother-in-law had passed away, and it was one of those things where, life support was taken off and all those things. And I said to my son, shortly after that, we were in the car, and I said, now listen, if I ever get into that shape, and he goes, oh, I'll pull the plug. I am absolutely.
I won't let you live like that.
Yeah, I said, well, let me at least. get-
some people don't always do. Some people go for the heroic measures, as they call them.
right.
He knows the line to sign.
No. I will. Don't worry. I'll be making the decisions for you, and I will pull the plug. Here it is, Dave. Now, we have had, for years, we've talked about why in America we do certain things differently than Europe. And you've always said people wonder when they come from Europe or other countries why there's a large gap in the stall at the door and the bathroom.
Yeah, both along the side.
Yes.
like where the door and
there's a gap.
And at the bottom.
Yes, that's right.
Where you see feet and many times pant or dress.
In other countries, it's all the way to the floor.
It's a full door.
I theorized this once, and that is cost.
Okay, yes, you said cost because
it's more expensive to take it an extra foot. What is that? A foot and a half?
Yeah, right. Well, this is not according to Josh. Josh is a P1. He said, I heard you all talking recently on a replay show about the gap and the stall door. And Dave is wondering why there's such a large gap in the United States on both sides and in the front door. And he says it's so you can pull a person out from under the door if it's locked, if they have a heart attack while they're on the toilet.
Bull.
That's what he says.
That's bull.
That's what he says.
No, they did not think that.
That's what he says.
They did not think that. These are the same things. We grew up with these. I mean, these stalls have been in place since, forever. Since long before Chris Dem was born.
Since the Woodrow Wilson days?
Yeah, since the Wilson days. Since they started coming inside to go.
But wait a minute now.
That sounds like an excuse a pervert makes as he's being drug out because he was peeping under a stall.
No. That makes perfect sense to me. Because if somebody, first of all, a lot of people have heart attacks on the toilet.
True, I will.
Okay.
I don't know that that's accurate, is it?
Elvis Presley. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Biggie and Elvis.
There's two out of how many people use the toilet?
And neither one of them is getting dragged out.
No.
You're still going to get the jaws of life.
Yeah.
No, but
you're not going to take them out under.
No, what I'm saying is, when one day
smacks his head on every part of the toilet getting out.
Years ago, we had an Elvis tribute show, and we were talking about Elvis dying on the toilet. And a P1 called who was in the medical field, and he said that can happen because if you strain on the toilet, some nerve, Vagus nerve, causes a heart attack. So doesn't it make sense that if you had to drag somebody out of there, you would have a gap under the? That makes sense to me. That's why we do it, not for cost.
I think it's all for cost, and I think
you can people having heart attacks in Europe.
I'm sure they are, but I think they don't care about that or worry about it. Apparently, I think in the United States we place.
If somebody has a heart attack in there, the firemen have an axe. They can get the door.
Well, they do, but if somebody comes in there and let's say Biggie's beside me in the other stall, and I have a heart attack and go, and he sees me fall out, and I'm on the floor, he could drag me out of there and start CPR and call 911. He could start it immediately.
If you know somebody's having a heart attack in there, and what if you're in a public bathroom?
Well, you would be. That's where you would be.
If you're at are you going to actually go in and drag somebody out that you don't know if you're at a rest stop?
I think I would. I think if somebody had a heart attack next to me,
but how would you know?
Let's say I'm washing my hands. Well, I don't know, but let's say I hear him hit the side of the stall, and I say, "Are you all right?" And he doesn't answer, and I see his legs are flayed.
Are you masturbating?
Yeah, most people would run the other way.
Oh, I think I would drag him out.
You're one of the few.
I think people would do that. We have some calls on it. Lee also is talking about having a death party. You had one, Lee.
Yes and no. It wasn't necessarily me, but after my grandmother passed away, my dad wanted our kids to come. So we all met at their house. We had dinner, and he sat down in his typical fashion with, Al Bundy hand down the pants after dinner and said, "All right, this is what we're going to do." And he pretty much just laid it out. This is what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get. Everything else is going to wait till after me and your mother are both gone. And if you don't like it, too bad.
Yeah. And did it make you feel uncomfortable, or are you okay with it?
It did. It made me feel very uncomfortable because I'm the baby of the family.
Yeah.
My sister, who's the oldest, she's the practical, level-headed one. She was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I need passcodes. I need this."
Yep.
And my dad was in his 80s when he died, but he was very computer savvy, and he had it all laid out. He had all the accounts, their passwords, how much was in them, what banks they were at. It was kind of like a southern version of Al Capone.
Yeah, well, it's smart to do it that way.
But it's unbelievably helpful to the family.
Unbelievably 1,000%. My mother had her whole funeral and everything planned out. And we went to the funeral home. She's like, she's prepaid. It's all done. Here it is.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. Now, the bathroom stall issue is also on the table. A P1 named Josh says the reason there's a gap at the bottom of the bathroom stall and on the sides is if somebody has a medical emergency, you can pull them out by the legs and start to work on them before 911 gets there. Jeff, you're talking about the bathroom stall. Do you believe that? Go ahead.
I don't know about all that. I was a janitor when I was younger in my former life, and they're much easier to clean.
Yes, that makes sense. You can get the mop up under there.
That makes sense.
Okay, that
think about it from that angle.
Okay.
Yeah, but not the business end of the toilet.
Now you
still got to go in there.
Yeah, you have to, but
get around the base.
But I understand that it would be easier to clean.
Yeah, if you're just doing a quick pass through.
Thank
it
you,
is,
Jeff.
but you still open the door.
All right, thanks, Jeff. You do. Okay, that's absolutely true. But how much less expensive is it? You think it makes a big difference if you're producing a door?
Your lumber costs?
Yeah, that's 6 feet versus 10 feet or whatever it might
Metal
be.
cost?
Yeah, metal cost. I don't know.
I think considerable if you make thousands and thousands of those doors a day. And those are expensive.
Yeah.
Those side doors and those front doors in bathrooms,
Right.
that's a big cost on a restaurant.
Randy, you're talking about the bathroom now. Go ahead.
Yeah, P4 here. At our wedding a long, long time ago, I'm older than Chris Dim.
Wow.
My cousin's wife got so drunk that we had to try to get her out from the stall. Nobody could get in there with her, so we drug her out and then stuck my little sister up into there to open the door to let her out. So it may not have been the plan, but it works really well.
That's a precious memory.
Well, if you have a little kid at your disposal, you can shoot him over the top.
I hope that's in the video.
That's right. Thanks, Randy. That's true. You could shoot a kid over the top.
Yes.
And unlock the door that way to drag them out to do CPR. And yes, I'm surprised you all wouldn't. I think Chris Dem would. He's a good person. If somebody had a heart attack in a stall, I think you'd drag him out and start doing CPR on him if you knew it. If you knew CPR.
Would I pull his pants up first?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, what a.
I mean, do I clean him first?
Boy,
No.
If you're on the toilet and you've just done your
Just
business,
let it. That's a nice way.
that's a nice way to go.
It's just how you go. I mean,
Why
sometimes
is there a
that's how
giant
you
brown
go.
stain on the floor? I had to get him.
I had to drag him out of there. Steve, you're talking about the bathroom and the stall doors. Go ahead.
Hey guys, look, I just wanted to say this. If I'm at a rest stop and I have a heart attack in the toilet and end up on the floor, leave me there to die. I don't want to survive that.
Yeah, you don't want to open your eyes and see a brown stain, cigarette smell
All right.
ceiling.
Good
Rest
point.
stop ceiling.
Good point. You look it up at rest stop ceiling. What? How did I get
Or
here?
truck driver's boots to your side if you're looking off to the
Those
left.
semi-blinking fluorescent lights.
Fair point. It's a fair point, Steve. I'll take it. You're right.